Stephen Cordeño right here with Kid Schofield. Good to see you, brother. Man, I feel like last time I saw you was in Houston, right before the Ryan Garcia fight. Obviously, you fought on the undercard there. Man, you looked super impressive. You know, I feel like after that, you know, it was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of one of those blessings in disguise, right? Like, you look really good, and now people that you want to fight aren't saying your name. Is that kind of like a good thing in a way? I mean, it's like, all right, well, they put them on notice, but now you got to get them to say your name, right?
I feel like it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because now it's like they're watching. You know, they saw you. But it's a bad thing because if you do too good, they might get in their head and they might be like, you know what? You know, I'll save that fight for later. So it's kind of a headache. But at the same time, I kind of like putting, you know, fear into these people's heads, or, you know, giving them some form of doubt. But if that's not the case, that's on you.
Man, I feel like you and William Cepeda, basically Golden Boy, you know, the Golden Boy fighters are the only guys saying Shakur's name. Like, there's no other fighters that I hear calling out Shakur. You and Shakur kind of went back and forth on Twitter. I think he said, you know, if you fight Abdullah or something, then you get him next. I mean, is that, you know, I don't know, is that like realistic? Do you think he like really meant that, or is that just, you know, just Twitter talk?
Well, we asked them to send the contract. They didn't send the contract to the email. That's for sure. We're giving y'all exclusive now. But we calling Shakur out, one, because he has a belt in our division. I mean, he's one of the best. You know, he has to be one of the best to have a belt in our division. Why would we not want to go after him? I mean, I feel like me and Cepeda are the only one with balls, because at the end of the day, this is our job. Like, we're not in this sport to fight the opposition that y'all be complaining about us fighting. You know, the moment I call Shakur, people are like, oh, you tripping. But it's like, shouldn't you want to challenge yourself? I mean, at the end of the day, boxing is about challenges and taking risks. Like, Bernard told me I'm supposed to want to test myself. And if I feel like I got the skills and the talent to beat him, then that's what I feel like. Give me the opportunity. Like, I feel like everybody's just afraid of that loss. You know, boxing is, I mean, they made it to where it's like, if you take a loss, your career is over. I look at it like, if you're not taking risks, like, what are you in the sport for? I mean, I'm not going to continue wasting my time, you know, fighting the opposition that I'm fighting. Even though, no disrespect, they're still good opponents, but I feel like I'm higher than that. But I will say Oscar and Golden Boy, Bernard, they're doing a good job of moving me. So that's the only reason I'm being patient. They tell me to be patient, and I got trust in them. But sooner or later, I'm going to get them in the ring, and I'm going to have to, you know, prove myself.
You've been in the ring, right? With was it Shakur before you, like, in sparring,
Yeah,
I believe,
sparring.
back in the day?
Yeah, I was 17.
What did you learn about Shakur in that sparring? What did you learn about yourself in that sparring?
I learned Shakur's a thinker. He's a mover. He has good skill. But that sparring gave me confidence to, you know, show that I can do this. You know, that's what gave me the confidence, you know, to keep pushing. And, you know, if I could keep up with a champion at that time, you know, maybe I'm able to become champion. So that sparring, you know, gave me a lot of confidence, and I'm here now.
Man, does anyone have that sparring? Do you guys have that sparring? Do they have the sparring?
I doubt it, because Shakur, Devin, they do that no camera thing, so I doubt it.
Maybe that was one in the gym.
If they did, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be like, he ain't ready, so.
We got hopefully it leaks one day soon, just like the Tank and Haney stuff leaked, right? What were your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on kind of the leaking sparring footage? It's kind of, you know, one of those unsaid rules, just you don't do that.
I mean, sparring is sparring. I take sparring as like, sparring is a fight, because at the end of the day, I might go in there one day, or just take it, somebody might go in there, they're sparring somebody, you know, who's kind of like a no-name, and, you know, they're a big name in boxing, and that person, you know, they're recording, you know, they get the footage, you know, they could do whatever they want with their footage, and if you have a bad day, that's on you if they got the footage, you know. I take sparring like a fight. I'm in there to knock you out in sparring. Unless you like my friend and we just working together, I'm coming to knock you out in sparring, because at the end of the day, they're not taking it easy on me in sparring. They want to make a name for themselves, and I don't blame them. That's what I did with Devin and all the other fighters. So you always take sparring seriously, so that way, you know, when it does leak, you did what you had to do. But as far as like Ryan leaking it for entertainment purposes, it was funny, but just I feel like him leaking it just to leak it, it was kind of like you don't really gain nothing from it. Plus, it's old sparring. Devin was a teenager. Tank was a grown man. Not saying Devin didn't get waxed in that sparring, but, you know, it's old. Like, that sparring don't matter. Devin, you know, he grew from, you know, that age, so let's see the fight now, how it would play out. But
Let's talk about their fight real quick. You know, Devin and Ryan were about 5-6 weeks out. Ryan's still been online. You know, he is in camp now. We see him in camp, you know, luckily. But I don't know. Is it trolling? Is it maybe something's off? Is that telling? Is that going to be telling in the fight?
I feel like, me personally, I thought it was trolling, but he seems a little too serious. But only Ryan knows. So hopefully he can get his mind right if something is wrong. Hopefully he can get his mind right before he goes into that fight. Because I'm pretty sure he would want to go into that fight with a clear mind against Devin, because Devin is a world champion. So hopefully Ryan can get back right. But if he is trolling, some good trolling, I will say. But that's a 50-50 fight, especially if Ryan is focused. It's a 50-50 fight.
We got one coming up with Tank and Frank Martin. That seems like a good fight there. Both, you know, fast twitch guys. Have you been sparred either one of those guys?
I didn't camp with Tank, but he was, at that time, he was always not close to his weight. He was always walking around like 170, 176. So, you know, that was the Tank before. This Tank right now, I would love to get some work with him, but that fight, I feel like Frank Martin might be going to sleep. But I hope Frank Martin can prove me wrong. But just in my opinion, I feel like Tank is too much for Frank. You know, Gervonta is I feel like people just think he's a power puncher. He does have some skill. So hopefully Frank can prove me wrong, but I got Tank by knockout.
Just two more, man. I want to get your take on Canelo versus Munguia. We got a good one, man. That's a really good one. Hopefully you could be on that card, right? Because we got some time. I think you got some time to be on that card. Just stylistically, man, how does it play out in the ring, do you think?
I feel like Munguia, he could do it. You know, I ain't gonna put him down. But Canelo is Canelo. He's a good fighter. I would have loved to see the Benavidez fight instead, but Munguia's fight is here. But it's hard because I'm gonna have to go with Munguia because he's part of the Golden Boy stable. But it's just Canelo, man. I don't know. That's a 50-50 fight also. But I want Munguia to win, but I feel like Canelo might take it.
Last one, man. We'll see if it's a real fight or if it's an exhibition. We don't have a whole lot of info yet, but Iron Mike, man, he's coming back. Incredible, right? Going to be 58 years old by the time he steps in the ring. But I do feel maybe the best boxer that Jake has faced to date. I mean, has the most experience, clearly. Bigger, right? Like he's definitely the first guy who's bigger than Jake. But he is 58 years old. I mean, what could we expect to see there?
I feel like they trolling. Hopefully they trolling. But Mike, he's old. I mean, yeah, he is a legend. But
Careful, Mike's watching.
No disrespect, but Mike is 58 years old. I mean, he is a legend. He was one of the greats, but your body's not the same how it used to be. I mean, once you get old, your body can't take the type of punches. I mean, Jake does hit hard. I mean, he does know how to throw a punch. He is a heavy-handed fighter. So I feel like Mike could do it. But I just feel like Jake is gonna probably hurt Tyson if Tyson is serious with this. And Tyson's old. I mean, his brain isn't just the same up there. You know, he's old now. But hopefully Mike could just throw one of them punches that just knock Jake out. You feel me?
There you go. See, we're still on your side, Mike.
By accident or something.
Right. Man, Floyd, is always great talking to you, man. Tell the fans where they can follow you, brother, and see your fight this Saturday.
Kid_Austin1 on Instagram, and make sure you guys tune in to Zone Saturday. You won't want to miss it.
There it is. Appreciate your time, man, as always. Best of luck. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.